Live and live.
Awesome.
And we're live on our news reporting show.
So we feel like newscasters.
Yeah, we really need chairs, like for reals. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. How's it going? Today we are talking about blends.
We are, you know what, we were going to do this the other way around.
What?
Remember we were going to try to do this where we weren't backwards.
Where we weren't backwards. Oh yeah, because technically we're mirrored.
Back, yeah. You know what, next week.
Next week.
No, we're not here next week.
Oh, we're not. Because I'm going to be leaving.
And I can't do things without Courtney.
Paula has, like, literally, for the past week, actually, no, for all of her life, she has just been there for everyone and dealt with everything, but she draws the line at doing Thirsty Thursday without Courtney.
I just can't sit here and drink alone at 11 o'clock in the morning.
I don't see the problem in that.
It would be so boring without you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it would be boring without you. Instead of just complimenting each other, let's see. How's your Thursday going? How is everyone today? We have kind of a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, actually, because we thought at first we were low on content, and then we weren't.
We really were not at all. Mm-hmm. So today we're not drinking the wine that we are talking about, but we are drinking a blend. And the blend that we are drinking, it has aroma of cherry vanilla and mocha, and then it's a blend of Zinfandel, Merlot, Syrah, and Cabernet Sauvignon. So 4 different styles all in one glass.
Which I think, if you are a winemaker, that's really, or if you cook or you do anything, the more ingredients you have, the trickier it is to get everything to be in harmony.
Yeah.
And so, wow, good for them.
I think that's one of the things that I do when I cook is like, okay, so I made pho one time, and, I was going to make pho, and I love pho. I've only had it a few times, and I look at the list of ingredients, right, and I'm like, okay, that's going to come in a big bottle, and I'm going to use, like, a teaspoon, not going to get that, not going to get that, star anise, I think that's, like, licorice, I don't like that, not going to get that, so, like, what I ended up with at the end was literally, like, beef broth and noodles, like, it was, like, nothing, and Jed looked at, like, my grocery list, and he's like, didn't you say you were going to get the ingredients for pho? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll add some stuff to the cart. And
yeah,
he added the stuff to the cart,
like
and lo and behold,
like the bean sprouts and all is so
the bean sprouts, and then the honestly, when I have pho, the hot sauce is the sriracha is what, like, but you can't put too much and you can't put too little, but you got to get that balance just right. So,
and then you need to squeeze a lime in there.
Yeah, the thing that makes pho is an egg.
Yes.
I like the egg on it, but also the yolk. You have to be careful about
it's an art. It's an art.
It's an art. Gosh, now I want pho. I've been kind of on a pho kick for.
It's like people who can make poached eggs. I'm always impressed with the whole swirl it around and
like
vinegar, and yeah, it's impressive. You know what we're not doing though? We're not drinking.
We're not drinking, so let's do that. So all that to say that this is a blend of 4 different things.
Yes, we're talking about red blends.
And if any of them were missing, they wouldn't be blends, they'd just be regular wine.
There's that.
I like this.
I do too.
You already said when you brought it in, you're like, this is my... It's your favorite,
right? It's my favorite blend.
Oh, favorite blend.
Favorite blend. And I have to say, if anyone has... If you're watching and you knew me when, you're probably wondering how I even said favorite and blend. Because I have to admit, for a very, very long time, when I first started drinking wine, and I became a wino probably 20 years ago, okay? When wine became cool, I figured out I should probably not be intimidated by it. I was such a snob to blends. Like, people would be like, oh, I'm drinking a blend. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not.
Oh man, you were that guy?
I was that guy. I would not drink a blend because I was like, if you have to blend it,
Then what's the point?
then it's probably not good wine.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Okay, so question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever, I think I know the answer to this. You know the soda machines at places and you put your cup in? Did you ever like...
No!
Yeah, when I was a kid, I always like mixed a bunch of them. But you have to, once again, just like the faux, you gotta get the right combo.
The only thing I think you should mix a lot of things in is your Long Island iced tea.
I mean, that's fair.
Because that's the recipe.
It was like the recipe.
Yeah, that's just me though.
So before I forget, I'm gonna just mention a couple of things that we have going on through the entire month of September.
Okay.
So number one, if you haven't heard about it already, is the photo contest. And Boozy Scientist, he generally tunes into this. Holy crap, he has
Did
been...
I just see a cool picture with the glass? Is that...
Yeah,
Yes,
he's put a couple of... So, he's put up a bunch of the beer can glass. I'll actually grab it, because we actually have it now. This is my favorite glass of the whole new series that we have. But the beer can glass, he put up a cool photo. So with the photo contest, if you want to win $50 to our online store, here's how you enter for a chance to win. So share a photo using the hashtag HomebrewOhio photo contest and then tag us at HomebrewOhio. And it has to be like, don't go back and edit previous photos. Like it has to be during the month of September. Each photo that you share is a separate entry and each photo must include one of the following subjects. It's pretty simple. You homebrewing supplies that you purchase from us, a finished beer, wine, mead, or other homebrew that you've made, or a recipe that you have created and you're willing to share. So super simple, just take a photo that has to do with pretty much anything homebrewing, put that hashtag HomebrewOhio photo contest and make sure you tag us, because if you don't tag us, I won't see it. And at the end of the month, I'm going to be going through and drawing one winner, and they'll get $50.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with $50.
You can do a lot with $50.
And then, that'll end the end of this month, and then October 2nd, when we do our Thirsty Thursday, we will announce the winner. And then we also still have the Halloween labels.
Mm-hmm.
So if you buy a 12 case of our black matte bottles, and the whole reason that we wanted to get the camera right here is because they're still backwards.
I know, we messed it up. You know, we can't do all the things right all the time.
We can't. But through the month of September, buy a case of these 12 black matte bottles and you will get a set of free Halloween labels.
While labels last.
While labels last. And it's backwards, but they're still cool.
They're not backwards in real life, though.
They're cool even backwards. Did you ever do that thing? Does anyone ever trick you when you're a kid? They're like, I can say my alphabet backwards. And you're like, what?
And they do
and then
that.
they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be the kid that did that all the time.
I was the one going...
Or they're like, I can stand on one finger. And then they just like, you stand on it.
Yeah, I never did any of those.
So those are our September kind of promotions that we have going on throughout the month. But today we want to talk about blends. So
Yeah.
Paula's came over from the snob side to the blend side.
Well, and you know what? I try to do a little research each time. I'm done with this. Each time we do a live on something, just so I make sure that I'm up to snuff. So I also have to totally wrap myself out on this one.
Ooh.
So for the longest time, I have said I love Rioja. And if you are a big red wine drinker who enjoys a good Spanish red that isn't, they're not necessarily as peppery as Cab Sauv can be, but a Rioja to me is probably one of my very, very, very favorite wines in the world. And the more
I feel like you say that every time.
because I love wine, but I do have some that are not my favorite.
Right.
It's a blend.
It's a blend?
I've been drinking blends while being a snob about blends.
Ooh. That's gonna hurt.
I'm fasting. I own it. I am owning it. I am owning it. Yeah, I was like, oh no, I really love Rioja, but I don't like blends.
That's so funny.
Except it is!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 different wines.
That's so funny. I think I told you this story, but I went out somewhere and some guy was trying to tell me, like I didn't know him very well and he didn't know me. But he was trying to tell me that when you homebrew something, or like when a beer is made, like the aging basically he had a part of the homebrewing process or the brewing process just like completely wrong in his mind, and I was like trying to tell him like politely like, no, that's not actually how it works, and he just like wasn't having it. And then he like opened up a beer and started talking about completely wrong once again about this beer that he was drinking while he was drinking it, and I just sat there and I was like, so that's kind of how I feel about like your blend story. Like you're like, I hate blends.
I hate blends, blend. I actually don't then, obviously I love them. So this new blend.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
You like babies, right?
I love babies.
Daniel, he's one of our homebrewers that follows us on Instagram. They just had a new baby.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Babies and puppies are my thing.
They really are. You should see her when a dog
Babies,
comes around.
we know we love each other. Like always. Baby in the store and I'm like an idiot. I can't even work. Mm-hmm. Good for you guys. Babies are always a blessing. Mm-hmm. And I steal, like all of my nieces are now at baby age, so I steal babies at any family function. They're like, don't worry, Paula will take this baby. I'm like, go play, I'm good.
That's like kind of a nice way to do it, right? Because then you can like...
I can totally give them back. Yeah, I can sleep through the night too.
they start crying, you're like, oh, okay.
We already had ours, we're good.
I interrupted you, I think you were saying something.
This new one, yes. So this is a brand new kit we wanted to kind of showcase for you today. And it's a private reserve. And Courtney's really, she's being dramatic, but not overly dramatic.
I am being dramatic.
Here's your papers, because she's a news anchor. But this is huge. This is huge, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's pricey. We're not going to lie to you about that. It's totally pricey. It's a private reserve.
I'm going to put it back over here, because it's just too big.
And the private reserves are that big, but that quality is incredible. Now, if you look at the front, I want to see. I just want to peek at it, though. Right here, it has grape skins, it has raisins. I mean, like, it has it just has grape skins. That was a different language. Yeah. Grape skins. It was French, and then it's giving us like all the regions. But the thing is, it's a limited release, and I have 3 of them in the company.
3. I had to hunt through pallets for this. Ooh, should I tell them about my yellow shopping cart? So, at my apartment complex, there was just like 3 shopping carts by the dumpster one day, and me being me, I was like, I need one. My favorite color is yellow, for anyone that doesn't know. So I took this yellow shopping cart. It's from Dollar General, by the way. I was like racking my brain what place had yellow shopping carts. And anyways, when we've been moving into the new place, I've kept it in the back of my truck, and I've been using it as like a thing to move around. When she
says she kept it in the back of the truck, I had to get in her truck the other day. She meant in the cab in the back of the truck. It was rolling around in the back of the truck.
I have a cover on my bed, so it doesn't fit. Anyways, the whole point being is Paula's consistently made fun of me for it. And you want to know what? Tom, Paula's husband, I come into the office the other day, and guess where my yellow shopping cart is?
In my office.
It's in Paula's office, and Tom had been helping her move, and he thought it was very helpful to move things into her office. So, shout out to Tom for believing in the power of
the yellow shopping cart.
Pure ingenuity. And that's what I brought this wine kit in today.
It's true. It's very happy. It's a 6 to 8 week fermentation, and it's 14 liters of juice. So by the time you add you do your whole bentonite solution, and then you add your juice in, you are topping off with very little water. Mm-hmm. I mean, very little water. It is a really quality kit.
That's so cool. I
agree. And when I read about it, it's intriguing to me. So
yeah.
I have a fruit fly or something. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's right there. It wants our wine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing on this, it sounds really cool. So it's the thing that got me about it, is that it's oaked with 3 different types of wood, which is pretty cool. So they pre-oak it with French oak, which adds like the vanilla maple and a sweet spice flavor to it. And then a mixture of American and French oak during the fermentation like helps.
So that brings in a spice.
Yeah. And then, so you're like, two already. Then Hungarian is added. Hungarian oak. So the result is a bold, rich, full-bodied wine with luscious blackberry and plum flavors layered with chocolate, vanilla, and sweet spice. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's gonna be.
Does this not scream? You need this in mid-February when you have had enough of snow and gray skies, and you are cold inside the middle of your bones, and you can have this
inside the middle of your bones,
which would be the bone marrow. I get it, but
I feel
this is like a winter warm your spirit. When you have bedraggled yourself right into your house after too many days with absolutely no vitamin D.
So the whole time you're saying this, I keep hearing you say your, and what I think you really mean is me.
I'm just being sharing. That's how I feel in February.
But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. February is my birthday. Do you not like February? No, February gets kind of cold here.
It gets
very
cold.
February is the worst month here, and it always throws me off because in Montana, where I'm from, winter is September through May. And it's like winter on and off throughout that, but the worst months are generally like October, November, December.
Okay.
Maybe into January or February, but it's like, it's much longer than here. But everyone like always complains about the winter here, and I'd say that the winter here is maybe worse, but for a much, much, much shorter time. So like when it is cold and it is gross in February, it sucks. But it sucks for such a short time that I'm like, this is nothing.
Yeah, I don't have that, bro.
I'll just drink my wine.
Just drink the Odyssey.
Just drink the Odyssey. And the Odyssey is a cool name, too, honestly.
It is. And I think that you'd want to be brewing it now because you're going to want at least 6 months on this one.
To age it?
When you have something that's that oaked and that big, and it's gonna take some maturation.
Right. And this kit is $179.99, so you don't want to rush it for that type of a price because it is up there.
Yeah.
But
March sucks too, so you could be drinking in March.
So then I have a couple blends since we're doing like a blend theme today. I wanted to talk about the Winemaker's Trio White and the Winemaker Trio Red. So they're both blends as well.
Right.
So they both come in at a price point of $169.99, and they both have 3 different styles of wine incorporated into them. So that's really cool.
And the Trio Red is actually one of our big sellers.
Is it?
It is.
Is the white
not as big? I think white is getting a bad rap a little bit.
What?
It's not as like. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I think like if men are drinking wine, they're more likely to do a red, and so white isn't selling as much because it's not as universally known. And I was wondering about that because I'm like a fact nerd. So in my research, what I found was that red blends are so hot right now that they have already surpassed in sales, like on the market. Like I'm not talking necessarily home brewing, I'm just talking about all the things. Yeah. That they have already surpassed all of the sales of Merlot, all of the sales of Pinot Noir, and they expect them to be on the trajectory to surpass Cab Sauv.
Dang, and that's crazy.
And Cab Sauv's the boss.
Because Cab Sauv is like
the boss.
The king of big bold
It's the go-to.
That's crazy. But I think, we're seeing like a lot of diversity, I think, in all different styles of beverages. Like you see, even in beer, you see your IPA, and then now there's milkshake IPAs, and there's like so many different branches of things. I mean, people are adding just like an incredible amount of ingredients to something already good. And like you mentioned earlier, it's really important to get the balances of all those right. Because I think one of the things that a lot of new like homebrewers might be really tempted to do is just dump everything in. I saw a post the other day, and like, I mean, I didn't drink the beer, so I don't know, maybe it was incredible, but 10 different styles of hops in one beer.
I don't know how you would balance that.
And you know, it was an experiment post.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was an experiment type of a thing. Like, they're like, I have a bunch of extra ones. I'm just gonna throw it in and see what happens. So I mean, like, it's cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, getting that balance right is always a trick.
Huh.
But
well, and we're seeing different flavors come out right now. Like, I just think that things have changed. The world's changed. We're not the same. Because one of the newest beer kits coming out is actually a very light, and IPA has been king for a very long time. It's a light beer, and it's apple flavored. It's an apple light.
It's the kickin' apple.
Yeah, and it was so funny. I was in the warehouse last night. It was about like 4:45, so we probably had 5 employees left for the day because everybody was winding down. And sure enough, we started talking, and the one guy said, "Oh my gosh, have you had, it was a domestic beer apple?" And I said, "No." And they were talking about it, and I said, "That's so funny. Because our next beer kit that is released is a light apple."
Right. So it's just all those trends.
It's right there. And
it's kind of like clothes, right? Like, the one thing's like really, really in style, and then it goes out of style, and then it comes back.
And you'd never wear it again. You'd never drink it again, I
guess.
guess.
I had to laugh when all the orangey, like gross orangey and gross olive colors came back into style. Like, that's
first of all, I love
now.
gross orange, and I'm wearing olive shorts, so bleh.
Oh, you are wearing olive shorts.
I love olive.
It was just funny in my mind.
But she's sunshine, and I'm black. Black is my favorite color. Yellow is her favorite color. We're good.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just funny in my mind because it was like things that I'd seen in pictures of my parents. Like, that's how they dress. My dad's in the military. I don't know if I've ever talked about my dad on the live before. But my dad was in the Marines for 30 years. And I think that makes everyone think he's like an intimidating guy or like a really macho man, and that's not the case at all. He's 5'7", so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
you have such a big personality that it's funny when we're because we don't usually stand next to each
right.
other, that I'm taller. I should, if we were choosing like who should be bigger, it should be you.
Because of my personality.
Yeah.
But no, so my dad, what were we talking about?
Your dad would be a big personality. You Marines. And people wearing orange and
people wearing orange. So my dad he showed me a picture, and he used to have bell-bottom pants that were like peach. They were like a peach color, and like my dad, that's like this Marine, and granted, he's not the most macho manly guy, but like he had bell-bottom pants and platform shoes. I was like, that's awesome. I couldn't even believe it.
He was cool.
You're like, that doesn't even faze you.
No, but you understand I'm a little older than you are.
Yeah, well, and you weren't drinking blends at the time.
I was not drinking blends at the time. I couldn't have afforded a blend at the time.
Weren't you? What was that one wine that you always talk about, and you said it was like the cool kid wine? It was like Zima or something?
Oh, that was a like a malt beverage. It was Zima.
Oh, okay.
And it's so funny because it reminds me of all of the like the claws and the seltzers and stuff that I'm like, so we had Zima. This generation has seltzers.
Right.
For those of you who are watching who remember Zima, you are my age.
So we got a little bit off. Let's focus.
Focus. That's not our strong point.
It's really not. So we've got the Winemaker's Trio White and the Winemaker's Trio Red. You said the Red's more popular, but
it is.
I am, honestly, when I drink wine, like, I always prefer white wines. So get out there and buy the white and make it and bring me some.
Well, you know what, though? I eat mostly chicken and fish. So I pair with white more often than anything else.
Yeah. So the white trio is going to have Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, and Muscat. And it's going to have floral aromas, flavors of tropical fruit and lychee, pineapple, mango, peach. It's unoaked and medium body, and it's dry. So
I bet it's amazing.
It sounds really, really good. And then the red trio is going to have Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and Zinfandel. aromas of vanilla, red berries, black cherries. It honestly sounds kind of similar to what we're
Very
drinking.
similar.
And like you said, I think we already talked about this, it includes the 2 liters of the genuine crushed grape skins, and medium oak, medium body, and dry. So maybe, I wouldn't say this is full body, would you? I'd say this is pretty...
What we're drinking, I would say, is medium bodied.
It's different, but I just to like...
And that's why because even if I'm drinking a red with a meal, I'm probably not ordering like a big brisket or something. I'm just more of a lean meat girl. So this would be a choice. Last night I drank a red. We went out to dinner at a winery and I drank a red. I'm trying to think, what did I drink?
Were you hot?
It wasn't. I drank a Cab Franc. But I still ordered a fish, but the fish was done like with more Cajun and it had it had a lot of things that were gonna be heartier.
It's very odd to me. Sorry not to cut you off, but it's very odd to me that like now when I eat foods, I can be like, oh, this would or wouldn't go with a certain type of wine, and I don't really drink wine outside of here. I really don't. I'm more of a beer person, you know that.
I do.
But it's just like, it's odd that I can pick up on it now.
And the more you do it,
and it's fun.
It's not because I think, and I get worried. Don't follow rules. The rules are, if you like it, it's good. If you enjoy it, it's good. Yep. I mean, those are the rules. So, but also you don't want, if it's good food, you don't want to drink something that makes you not enjoy the food as much as you could. And if you can get a harmony, that's the answer. Yeah.
No, I think it's really cool.
But it's also fun.
So, something I'm really, really excited about is we can't say too much yet. But we have an exciting announcement with Grainfather coming up. So, if you're
this is like a teaser.
I can't say too much, but if you're a Grainfather fan, you're going to want to stay tuned to our lives and to all of our social media because something exciting is coming up. Super exciting, and I'm going to have to learn a lot of things. Same. I talked to Gabby and Matt yesterday with Grainfather, and Gabby said she's a huge fan of Thirsty Thursday. She said she watches. Hey, Gabby! So, Gabby, if you're here, hello. But yeah, I had a really good, informative conversation with them yesterday, and I'm excited to see what's what. So stay tuned. That's like the end of this month or early October. And I think our announcement's going to be one of those things where if you're a winemaker and you've been thinking you want to do beer, but you have a hesitation, we may be able to make things a little bit smoother for you. Secondly, if you love making beer, but you find us, if you... in 2021, September 2021, we are busy. I feel like I am busier right now than I've ever been in my life. Do you feel that way? You know what's funny is yes. I don't know if it's just because of the move or what, but I feel very, almost overwhelmed. Yes, but I felt like this before the move. Yeah? Yeah. But like excitingly overwhelmed. Not in a bad way, but I just feel like I don't have enough minutes in the day. And if you are a current beer brewer who's having that feeling, this is going to be good for you. This would be good for you because in my world, I'm all about efficiency. And if you can find a way to fit something in that you love, even if you don't have as many minutes as you used to have, it's a win. For sure. And that's the teaser. And that's the teaser, folks. That is. Have you heard, and that's the tea, sis. Have you ever heard that? No. Okay, so it's like one of those like hip, young, cool kid things. No wonder I haven't heard it. So like if you have like a piece of gossip and you're not really supposed to like, like you don't want someone to spill the beans or whatever. Yeah. It's like called spilling tea now. So like. And what happened to beans? What's wrong with beans? I don't know. They're like what's it like if you want to know like a situation. Like, what's the tea? Like you overheard something, you're like, what was that about? What's the tea? Ooh, I'm gonna try that in the warehouse because I'll tell you what, everybody out there, they're hip. They know things, and I walk through and they're like, "Old lady has no idea what's going on around here." I'm gonna be like, "What's the tea?" And they're gonna be like, "Stop it, dude." I'm gonna laugh so hard when you do that. I'll probably use it wrong. You gotta do it. You gotta do it to like one of the young guys out there though that would never use it, so they'd be just as confused. Like you gotta just like Adam or somebody.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna
he'd
try
be like,
it.
what?
What's this tea?
I cannot wait to hear the results on that. Or say it to the warehouse manager. She'd be like,
she's gonna be like,
she'd just slap you.
She would say, go back to your office.
She would.
She does tell me sometimes to go back to my office, and I so deserve it. Please, like yeah. So I think we have one more thing to talk about.
Yeah. So jobs.
Yeah.
Jobs. If you
plural.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Multiple jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 types of them.
Yes.
A blend of jobs, if you will.
Drink to that.
Number 1, if you are looking for a warehouse position, we have several of them.
And I think warehouse position is maybe a little bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Because what it is you're picking orders, you're packing orders, and you're putting kits together. So you could be assembling product and repackaging.
It's not like a factory. You're not
like,
moving
from one thing to another place and then another place. It's not at all like that.
Mm-mm.
It's more of a distribution center. But, you know, when you say, like, I have an opening for that, it kind of comes under warehouse, and it's not true.
So, if you're interested in that, some of the qualifications would be you need to be able to lift at least 50 pounds. That's going to be a big one because...
And I can.
As you can see, some of these are heavy. You're also going to need to be, like, super dependable, someone that shows up on time, is willing to work.
Because we know you guys want your orders.
Right, exactly. And our starting pay is going to be $14 an hour. After 90 days, that'll jump up to $15 an hour after you've been with us for 90 days. And if you are interested or you know anyone that is interested, don't contact us online. I mean, you can if you want, but
we're going to tell you
to come in because we want to meet you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like we're a very like face-to-face type of business. Like Paula even knows I have a phone in my office that connects to her office, and I could easily pick up the phone and just call her, hey, I have a question. I will get up out of my chair and I will walk over to her office.
She'll plop right in the chair.
Which, you know, she loves, depending on the day. But, come in and apply.
Yeah, because our culture matters to us, and I think it would matter to you. So people are the most important aspect of our company. We can't do it without our employees. We cannot.
No way.
And so we want to get to know you, and we want you to get to know us, because it's really, you're interviewing us and we're interviewing you. And the whole thing is, we can teach you anything you need to know, but we need to know if you would gel with us.
Right.
Or if you even like us.
Some people don't,
I don't know. I don't understand why you wouldn't.
But, no, so warehouse positions, just come in. Our new location is 2333 West Monroe Street.
Yes, and that's the distribution center. That's not the store. The store has not moved. If you're shopping with us, you can go to where you're used to going.
But that's where we're at, so you can come talk to us. And then secondly, this is not that any position is less important than other positions.
They're all
except the marketing director, that's pretty important.
Oh, by the way, every time she sends me an email, it's a different title. So today it's marketing director. So go ahead with yourself.
Well, that's my official title.
The last one was like woman who put together something without instructions or something.
Yesterday was
purveyor of bathroom signs. She sent me.
Yesterday was successfully connected to a Zoom call once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, man, we're really
we've missed you.
All right. Do you need a job? Let's start this over. Okay. Do you need a job? Are you very reliable? Are you someone that isn't going to leave us in 6 months to a year? Are you someone that is willing to learn about homebrewing if you don't know anything about it, or you already know tons about homebrewing? Those are the 3 big main things. The position is 30 hours a week.
Or more if you want to go full-time.
Or more if you want to go full-time. It also starts at $14 an hour with that jump to 15 at 90 days.
And then we see how it goes from there.
And what it is basically we're looking for someone, now that we've moved our distribution center to a new location, we're looking for someone that is interested in helping to run our store, our retail location. So essentially you'd be talking to customers when they came into the store, helping them find products, ringing them out at the cash register, restocking shelves, putting grain in bags, milling grain to send out. What else am I missing? Just kind of miscellaneous store tasks, and it would be a really cool position because there's a lot of opportunity to learn about home
It could be
brewing.
Tuesday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday, depending on the times. If you only want a few days, if you're great, I'll take you, because we want good people there who are going to be the face of our company.
Right. The number one thing with this position that I would say is a willingness to be a self-motivator. So something that I learned in this position that I'm working with is sometimes you have to take the time to help yourself. Instead of going to someone to find an answer, sometimes try to find the answer on your own before you reach out. And I would say that really applies to this position coming up.
Like the ability to see, it looks better if I pull everything forward, or, just those kind of things. But, for the right person who can get over there and really wants to be part of it, I will find the time to go over and talk about my philosophy of retail.
Right.
Since I have, we won't even say how many years of retail experience behind me. It'd be embarrassing.
Did you have retail experience before or after you were drinking blends?
Before and after.
Wow. So lots of retail experience. So if you or anyone that you know of is interested in a job, come on over our way.
Warehouse or retail.
Both. We've got both options.
Or you could do both to get full time.
Yeah, that's true. That's always an
I'm
option.
open.
Yeah. Phil said, if only I lived closer.
You're gonna need to move.
Yeah.
We're on beautiful Lake Erie.
I think he's in Arizona.
Ooh,
I
would not give up
wrong.
Arizona weather though.
I might be completely wrong.
And it's
on
good
that,
for my
but-
hair. That dry heat is good.
Really?
We're humid. Yeah.
My hair is so poofy here because of all the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity here is horrible, so don't do it.
Don't
It's bad for your hair.
Paula and I are like, please come work for us, but also don't.
Also, I'm worried about
I'm worried about you.
I'm worried about humidity.
Yeah. And anyone that's also just interested in being a part of our company in some form or fashion, we also are always looking for affiliates to join our affiliate program. Yeah. So if you you get supplies from us and you want to help us out if you're really active on social media and you want to help spread the word about us in Homebrew, Ohio,
sure,
that would be really appreciated. Just send me an email, Courtney at Homebrew, Ohio.
And I do hire part-time in our warehouse also.
Yeah.
So that's an option.
We're fairly flexible.
Well, and I always think there's got to be those the moms or the dads who drop the kid off at school and then they have to pick them up at school, but they can work in the middle.
Right.
We're all for you. The middle's the busiest part of our day.
Yeah, that's true. One thing that I will say is that this company is very, very friendly towards new people, and they're very helpful. When I was
I hope so.
When I was working, during the move, when I was working with a lot of new people that I'd never worked with.
You did
before,
work with a lot of different teams, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of was just the person that was floating around, asking if anyone needed help, and I worked with a lot of different people, and I was really pleasantly surprised how nice everyone was, because I don't do that on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I hardly say more than passing words to a lot of the people out there, so it was really cool to get to know everyone. And
I'm partial, but I think my staff is amazing. And when I get on the radio and I go, Homebrew, Ohio employees and rock stars of Homebrew, Ohio, and I mean it.
Phil says that he lives near Buffalo, New York. I'm thinking of someone else that lives
Buffalo,
in
New
Arizona.
York, which means that you could go right up to, what is it? The falls.
Niagara Falls.
But it's Niagara on the Lake is what is so fun. It's just past the falls on the Canadian side.
Uh-huh.
Niagara on the Lake is such a great place to just drink wine for days. Good for you.
You're the type of person, you go to Niagara Falls and you go there and you drink wine?
Yeah.
When I went to Niagara, I had like...
Did you climb it?
No. Oh my gosh. When I went to Niagara, I had like this... You know how there's like those moments in your life where just like everything feels just like you're in the right place at the right time. You're like, this is where I'm supposed to be. We did the thing where you can like walk kind of, not underneath it, obviously you'd be pummeled, but like you can kind of walk by it and it like won't mist you. I say mist, but it is...
You got wet.
I got pretty wet. And we're walking by it and there's like a ton of people and there's like this small little Asian man and no clue who he was, and he looked over at me and I looked over at him. We just like were laughing hysterically because this waterfall was coming down. And it was just the coolest moment, and I oftentimes think, like, does he remember that? And I hope that he does, because I always remember it, and I just felt like, I was like, yes, this is where I'm supposed to be right now. So it's cool.
I like those moments.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, have we bored people enough?
I hope not, but I seriously consider some blends, because I think those of us who don't think we like them, we actually do.
My friend Evelyn's watching, so I just want to give her a shout out.
Evelyn.
She had knee surgery, so maybe I should bring her some wine.
A blend.
I'll bring you a blend. All right, everyone. So before we go, we're not gonna be here next week.
Oh no.
I'm going home to go to my best friend's wedding, which I'm super excited about.
That'll be so cool. Are you wearing yellow?
I have no idea what I'm wearing.
It'll be yellow.
And I will wear yellow now,
okay,
just for you. Yeah. So I'm going home. So.
Oh, by the way, I hate to interrupt you, but. Guess who finished a marathon last weekend?
Thank you.
Rockstar status here. Finished it. And I was like, the only encouragement I had was when you get tired, think of yellow toilets.
Literally, this woman, she like puts on Facebook, she goes, if you get tired, think of yellow toilets. And I kid you not, like, I was thinking of yellow toilets so much during this run. I was like, this isn't helping. I'm still tired.
Yeah, but you were entertained.
I was actually entertained.
There you
go. I don't know if I told you too, but Jed had like, he's like, have PMA. Did I tell you this?
Positive mental attitude.
Positive mental attitude.
Yes.
So I kept just thinking, PMA.
I would have been thinking, like, I need a beer.
Yeah, I did think that too. I actually had a beer after.
It helps.
I was like really excited about it. It was one that Todd recommended.
Todd has good beers, even though I fire him every day.
It was from Bell's up in Michigan.
Shout out,
so,
yeah.
And we're really not wrapping this up here. Whatever, we're having a time. But our new janitor, Amber, right? Amber. She I was talking to her, and she actually just went on a tour of Bell's. And
cool.
She said it was really cool. So
and she's a rock star. We've just had her for 3 days, and she's amazing.
The bathrooms so clean.
Our lives are better.
Our lives are better. I'm trying to see if there's comment or if it's just people joining. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna let you go because we've been talking forever, and you can't shop if you're listening to us. So.
That's true. So next week, no live.
It'll be 2 weeks.
And we're wax dipping bottles. We're doing it.
So good at that.
We're doing it.
We can do it. We can do hard things. Not to worry. What's did he say? Tom said something.
Yellow cart rocks. Oh my gosh, just a sec. We gotta get, for Facebook, we gotta get behind the scenes. Just for
Yellow cart!
Just for you, Tom. Yellow cart.